It's Saturday, September 18th, 2021. I wanted to make a video today and I wanted to talk about a few things that are huge possibilities now. We keep hearing about natural disasters, power going down, grids going down. And the question is, what if it happens to you? How prepared are we as individuals to deal with a man-made disaster or a natural disaster? And I was reading an article today, and it was discussing the many different ways somebody could perish when the grid goes down, when the power is out, when you're on your own. And it's things we really need to think about. Research says that only 3 million Americans are prepared for an emergency, such as a grid going down or the power going out. Some experts say that if the power went out, 50% of our population right here in America would perish within 30 days. 90% would perish within a year. And I know a lot of people out there believe nothing bad can happen, but you look at the amount of people who are out of power now, who have no power in Texas, what's happened in Louisiana, and whether it's heat or it's cold, whether it's rain or it's snow, anything can take the power out. And we look at the amount of cyber attacks now and cybersecurity and the ability now to attack grids all over the world. And I think it's very foolish for anyone out there watching this video to not be prepared at least minimally 30 days. On top of that, we look at what's happening to the economy, the volatility of these markets, what's happening in China right now, the high percentage that we're going to see a depression in America, and China right now looking at a possible depression. Not saying that's going to happen. More than likely, the 4 largest banks in the world, which are in China, are going to absorb what's happening in China right now. But if they don't, China will be in a depression, America will be in a depression, and the entire globe will be in a depression. So what are some of the things that we could die from if the power goes out, if the grid goes down? Thirst or waterborne illness. Most people do not own a water filtration system. I own a couple Berkeys. If you watch Texas Silver, Aaron owns a Berkey. He has other water filtration devices. Some people have the ability to purify water. Most people do not. Most people do not have the knowledge or understanding to purify water. So, have some kind of backup plan. Have a Berkey, have some type of water filtration system. You need roughly a gallon of water a day to survive. So that bottled water, that crate of water that you got at Costco is not going to last very long, especially if you have family members, if you have kids. Waterborne illness is the #1 cause of death after a natural disaster, ladies and gentlemen. Another reason that people will not survive. This is another false sense of security. It's living in fantasy land. So many people just say, well, I'll just go out and hunt. I'll hunt deer, rabbits, birds, whatever. And most of these people have no idea what they are talking about. A lot of people say, well, I'll plant a garden. Well, it's going to be a little too late to plant a garden at that point. And most of these people who say that they're going to go out and hunt or they're going to plant a garden have never even planted a seed. Most people today are obese and couldn't even perform a simple physical task, let alone going out into some forest and going and hunting for their food or planting a garden. It's going to be too late. Most people have never cleaned an animal. Most people have never cleaned a fish. So these people are in absolute fantasy land. They're watching too many movies. They're spending too much time playing video games, and they actually believe that they're just going to leave suburban America and live off the land. That's not going to happen. So, get some skills. Maybe really learn how to plant a garden. Maybe learn how to be able to fish, hunt in order to survive, how to clean an animal. Most people cannot do this. Many people will freeze to death. People will get desperate to get warm which will lead to big trouble. If you live in a cold climate, do you have enough extra clothing to stay warm? Do you have other ways, like a fireplace or a way to burn wood? Carbon monoxide poison from improperly vented heat sources and house fires will take out a lot of people. Most people don't even know how to start a fire. And in doing so, if you don't know how to do it safely, you could burn your house down. You could die of carbon monoxide poisoning if you do not have the proper ventilation for that fire. And so again, so many people unprepared. And look, I'm one of these people. I'm not 100% foolproof. There's things I could definitely do to strengthen my chances. And many of you also could do a little bit more to strengthen your chances to survive in case we see a man-made or natural disaster. Look, ladies and gentlemen, cyber attacks, cyber security, grids, all on computers now could be shut off in a second. Another one here, what's going to be another cause of death is starvation. If FEMA can't get to you, or if you can't get to FEMA, you're on your own. You will be left with what you have at home. Refrigeration is going to be gone. It won't work. Your food within hours could go rancid. And people, they die of food poisoning. And so, food becomes filled with parasites and other things. And so if you're dependent on refrigeration and the power goes down, especially out here in the heat, when it's 115 degrees, how long do you think refrigeration is going to work in a place like Arizona or out here in the desert of Palm Springs, Palm Desert, New Mexico, Texas? When it gets hot in the summer, it gets hot, and your food is going to go rancid very, very quickly. Most Americans probably have 48 to 72 hours of food maximum at their home. That's probably on a good day. And if you can't start a fire, if you don't have water, if your refrigeration is out, you're going to be in very, very big trouble. This is why I believe it's really, really smart to have extra canned food. Canned food, if you have to eat it cold, you eat it cold. If you have emergency food, a little bit of water, and you're good to go. Doing nothing, ladies and gentlemen, guarantees that you're going to lose at the worst possible time. And we talk about grids going down, electricity going down, man-made, natural disasters, whatever it may be. But we have to think about what could happen during an imploding financial crisis. We're going to see some really chaotic times. What if you have an accident? Have some safety goggles to protect your eyes. If you're cutting wood, if you're working on something, have something to protect your eyes. Have an extra set of gloves laying around. Protect your hands. If you can't use your hands, you're going to be in very, very big trouble. Learn some first aid. And as I've said in the past, have a trauma kit. Have a tourniquet. Have the ability to be able to stitch somebody up. If your kid needs 10 or 20 stitches, can you do it? This is where I'm a little bit weak. I really need to get back and take a first aid course. But applying a tourniquet properly, being able to stitch up a wound, this is so important. You can take something like somebody being cut, needing 10 or 20 stitches, which normally isn't a big deal. You go to urgent care and in 15 minutes, it's done. But if you can't stitch that up and there's no urgent care to go to, it can become a real problem. It can become life-threatening. Looters, another one. This can be a problem. This can easily take your life too. Security, folks. I cannot stress the importance of security. Sometimes the threat that we think is going to just be these random looters, people we don't know, it may be people you do know. It might be neighbors. It could be family members. When they get hungry, when they get desperate, these people that you know, even family members, can get very, very stupid and be a threat to you. So be very cautious of that. It's not just people you don't know. It's not going to be people necessarily from another city or strangers. It could be people that you know, that you're related to. So be aware of that. Always be aware and have situational awareness and understand that when people get hungry and desperate and they know that you have food and water, guess where they're going? Another one here, people getting sick. Get sick, you can die. Get your immune system strong, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about this quite a bit. This is the time right now to be getting in better shape, getting your immune system healthy. Get your body in shape right now. Another one, an infection. Just think, if the lights were out for 30 days and you get an infection a few days into this incident, how many days? Now all of a sudden, a day or two later, you got a fever. A week later, you're really, really sick. This infection is spreading throughout your body. Look, you could cut your finger, you could get a splinter. That can start an infection, and within days, you got big, big trouble. So get some antibiotics stored away, some alcohol, some hydrogen peroxide, things of that nature. Get those things that you can readily get right now and put it away, because again, a small cut can become infected, a splinter can become infected, and this can have a tragic ending. Just the smallest thing. Another thing that's going to kill people, unfortunately, if the lights go out, is obesity and people being out of shape. Will your heart hold up under the stress? More than likely, many people are going to die of bad hearts, obesity, diabetes, and things of this nature. So get your heart in better shape. Will your knees hold up? Is your body going to hold up? Most people spend most of their day sitting down. I cannot stress enough the importance of getting up and moving. Get that body moving, get that blood circulating. Sitting around 80% of the day is going to do so much damage to so many people when they need their body most. If you have to move quick and you're huffing and puffing, you're going to be in big trouble. If you have to get out of an area, if you have to get out of your home quickly and you're huffing and puffing and you can't move because you're 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds overweight, it's going to be very, very bad news for you. Why let it get to this point? Right now, today, you can change. You can get in a little bit better shape. Look, nobody's perfect. I wish I was in better shape, but I'm making an effort to eat a little bit better, to get to the gym, to be moving the body, to get the blood circulating, to be doing a little bit of something. Could I do more? Yes, I could do a lot more, but I'm trying to do what I can. I'm trying to improve, and I'm going to try to do more, because the more we can do today is going to benefit us tomorrow. So get your fitness situated. We talk about getting your security situated. Get your fitness situated. Daily medication is going to be another killer. If it runs out during the worst possible time, when the lights are out, when the grid is down, it's going to be a tough time for a lot of people, and this is a tough topic. Certain medications must be refrigerated. If refrigeration power goes out, you're going to have a problem. So, maybe you can stockpile what you can right now, but what you can do right now is become less dependent on these medications. You can manage your health right now maybe a little bit better by changing your lifestyle, changing your diet, losing some weight. A better diet makes you less dependent on daily medication, and that's just a fact. So maybe you can be a little less dependent on medication. Maybe you don't need to be dependent on medication at all. If you started eating a little bit better, if you dropped some weight, if you did a little bit more exercise, many of you wouldn't even need medication. Many of you would be zero dependent on medication right now. So get out there and get some exercise, clean up the diet a little bit. Nobody said you had to have a perfect diet. Nobody says you have to exercise 7 days a week. But if you're doing zero, but sitting on the couch, eating garbage, and taking medication every day and doing nothing about it, this is going to come back to haunt you. I want to switch gears now. I want to talk about an article that I was reading last night on The Hedge. Restaurants remove crab from menus due to skyrocketing prices. I mean, we are at a time in our history, ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen anything like it, and it is not getting better. So get yourself in better mental shape, better physical shape, better spiritual shape, and better financial shape right now. Time is not on your side. If you're watching this video today, start doing something today. But I want to get back to this article because this is another case of massive inflation. One of the top crab restaurants in Baltimore, Maryland, called Jimmy's Famous Seafood, has warned customers about price increases. They are skyrocketing. Gail Furman, one of the owners of Max Tap House, another seafood restaurant, said this: the price of crab went from $21 a pound to $52 a pound. So crab products are coming off the menu. People just aren't going to pay the price. And we're going to continue to see more of this. What kind of stress will this put on these restaurants? She said every supply chain that we know of is broken. Chicken wings were roughly $45 to $50 a case. Last week, they were $196 for a case. Another restaurant said they raised the crab cake price by $4, and it wasn't enough to cover the cost. So now they've raised it $6 over the weekend, and it's barely breaking even. Raising a crab cake price $6, and they're barely breaking even. So it will be going up even more, or they just have to eliminate it altogether. Have you ever seen anything like this, ladies and gentlemen? You know, when I read stuff like this, it just makes you think, like, what more can I do to prepare? What do I have to do? And, you know, me personally, I've cut out so much of my life because I'm just saving money, I'm buying assets, and I'm planning on getting out of the state of California. I'm doing whatever I can to do to survive. A decade ago, crab meat was $19 to $30 a pound. A couple years ago, I went to Costco for Christmas, probably about 2 years ago, and it was last few years, it was running about $20 to $24 a pound. Now it's running $50 to $60 a pound, and it's as high as $121 a pound. Unbelievable. All this will continue to put pressure on restaurants. I feel so sorry for small restaurants. Look, McDonald's, the Del Tacos, the Jack in the Box, the Burger Kings, all of these places, they're going to survive. It's cheap food, garbage food. They have drive-thrus. They'll turn to robotics at some point. They won't even need humans to run it. These are the places that are going to survive. But, you know, if you want good food, you want real food, you want to go to a good mom and pop restaurant, these places, I mean, they're going to be dinosaurs. I hope that doesn't happen. I really, if you know of a good restaurant, a good place, and they're still giving you good service, good quality food, support that restaurant. But unfortunately, many of you have written to me, and I've said this many times. I go to a restaurant. Sid and I went out to dinner last night. Restaurant closes at 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Many of them closing at 8 or 8:30. And I just couldn't believe it. And, you know, the food sucks. The service sucks. Nobody really cares. And it's so sad to see the pride of ownership now that people just don't even care. So if you know of a good restaurant and those people are trying to do whatever they can to control cost, and they're still giving you great food and great service, man, help that place the best that you can. I don't know how many restaurants are going to survive after 2022, especially with the poor quality of food and poor service, but support the good ones, ladies and gentlemen. Again, all this is going to really put pressure on restaurants, and it's going to continue to put pressure on families and how they're going to be able to feed their kids. It's absolutely ridiculous because it's not just crab meat. Chicken going through the roof, beef going through the roof, pork going through the roof, and all seafood just soaring through the roof. There is no relief in sight for the average American. The middle class, as far as I can see, is being decimated. The poor, decimated. The middle class is going to continue to shrink, ladies and gentlemen, because just think of a middle class family of four. How in the world are they supporting this inflation? Just to go out for burgers is going to cost a family of four $50+ just for a fast food burger. It's absolutely ridiculous. Bloomberg, world's wealthiest families gained $312 billion over the past year. This is on Bloomberg. Now, these families can eat all the crab and steak that they want. They continue to get wealthier and wealthier. The world's 25 wealthiest families are worth $1.7 trillion, a 22% increase from a year ago. The Waltons, who own half of Walmart, they're out of Arkansas, they have a net worth of $238.2 billion. Their fortune grew by $23 billion just in the past 12 months. Half of the workforce at Walmart is part-time. we subsidize these Walmarts in our cities, and then we have to subsidize the employees because they don't pay their employees enough. And you're not going to, for the most part, get a 40-hour work week unless you're a full-time employee. But most of their workforce, half their workforce, or over half their workforce, is part-time. And so we've had to subsidize these people with SNAP and all types of government benefits so they can survive while they work for one of the wealthiest families on planet Earth, worth $238.2 billion. So, if you can support a different business other than Walmart, I know people tell me Walmart's the only place in their town to shop at, but if you have an option, go shop at any other store than a Walmart. I haven't shopped at a Walmart in 2 years. I will never shop in a Walmart. I like to go in there and shoot some videos because, it's a reflection of what's going on when you see the empty shelves, you see the soaring food prices. But here's a family, wealthiest family on earth, and half their employees are on government subsidy. What an embarrassment. Another reason why, if you have an option, do not shop at Walmart. Do not shop at Walmart. Why do we support these type of businesses? Why do we support these type of people? Again, I know some people are forced to shop there because it's the only place they have in their town. But if you have an option, go shop somewhere else. I would pay a little bit more knowing that my money is not going to the Waltons, knowing that my money isn't going to a family that has destroyed so many cities where Walmarts have moved in and just absolutely destroyed so many small, medium businesses while we pay for it. It's disgusting. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there today. Think about strengthening yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially this weekend. There's many reasons here of why we need to do a better job because there's so many ways that you could perish when the lights go out, so many ways that you could perish when a grid goes down. Heat, cold, starvation, dirty water, malnutrition, not having access to medicine, an infection, etc. So be prepared for these things. Look, the sun's out today, it's a beautiful day, and most people aren't thinking about this, but we need to be a step ahead because look, we are one click away from having a grid being attacked and going down. It's all being done by computers now. It's all being done by hackers. So the system is very, very fragile. And don't forget the banking system also. People continue to write me that they went to their bank. It's closed. They don't know why it's closed. They don't know how long it's closed for. That's concerning. So realize that your money may not be as safe as you think sitting in a bank. And what can you do about it? Be your own central bank and be your own human being. Be self-sufficient as best that you can. Get out of the system the best that you can and be a little bit more self-sufficient because it may save your life at the end of the day. It may save a family member's life. It may save a friend's life. So be self-sufficient. Be thinking outside of the box, be an independent thinker, and draw your own conclusion where this is all going. Again, we don't know what's happening in China right now, if they're going to bail out Evergrande. If they don't, you're going to see a massive depression hit China, and it's going to hit the globe. But even if that doesn't happen, this economy is failing. And at some point, they're not going to be able to stop the implosion of this economy. So get ready. Be preparing the best that you can. It's a great weekend to go out and add a little bit more food and water to your preparations. And maybe it's a good weekend to add a little bit more gold or silver to your preparations. Do something. Always be proactive. Too many people are going to be reactive and they're going to lose. God bless all of you. I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon. God bless. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. And stay proactive.